Okay, so the other day I did a response to an article by Pirates and Princesses about them rechanging or changing the name to the Slave One just to Boba Fett's starship, at least in Lego form. Although I still would not put it past Disney to be trying to pull this crap with the live action shows they're doing, especially with the Book of Boba Fett and maybe in the Mandalorian if they use him again in that more. Because this is Disney, they're the bastions of sanitized stupidity. Like, they do not know when to leave well the fuck alone. They can't help themselves. Like, it's like having OCD, except it's for doing stupid stuff. That's Disney in a nutshell, basically. They live to do stupid shit. And I look forward to the day they go under. I'm not going to lie. There are two companies I would love to see go under fast and hard. And no, I'm not talking in the fun way. And one of them is Disney. The other is Bethesda, but I'll stick with Disney on this one. And the article today I wanted to go and respond to was by Bound the Comics. I will be posting a link to it in the description. And basically, this one actor, a Boba Fett actor, Mark Anthony Austin, reacts to Disney renaming Boba Fett Slave One. And I follow the guy on Twitter. He seems like a nice guy. Seems like a decent guy. And I saw like one tweet from him, so I was wondering if maybe he said some more online. And I just wanted to do a video on this if he did, because, well, there are days when there's not a lot for me to do videos on. Aside from that one series I'm working on, but that's about it. Anyway, moving on to the article. Boba Fett actor Mark Anthony Austin, who played the character in the 1997 Star Wars Special Edition film, recently reacted to Disney renaming the Fett spaceship Slave One. It was recently revealed that Disney is attempting to rename Fett's Slave One ship to Boba Fett's starship. And the funny thing is, it's not even a starship, it's a gunship. It's a fire spray gunship that was once used by a prison. So it's not even a starship, it's a gunship. Like, these dumbasses couldn't even get that right. Then again, this is old EU lore, so maybe I'm asking for too much of these idiots. But anyway, back to attempts to rename Slave One ship to Boba Fett's starship, as seen on recent LEGO packaging for the ship based on its appearance in The Mandalorian, which is an awesome ship. And Disney asked for this, so yeah. As for why they are renaming the ship, LEGO Star Wars designer and director Jens Kronvold Fredrickson, and I do not care if I pronounced that name wrong, fuck this guy, and LEGO Star Wars lead designer Michael Lee Stockwell provides some insight while speaking with Jedi News. Stockwell first declared, "We're not calling it Slave One anymore. This is Boba Fett's starship." When asked why the name was being changed, Fredrickson explained, "Everybody is. It's probably not something which has been announced publicly, but it is just something that Disney doesn't want us to use anymore." Yeah, because they have to sanitize everything because they're spineless pussies, basically. Following this revelation, Austin took to Twitter to declare, "My ship will forever be Slave One. Nothing, not even Disney, can or will change that. This is the way." And then he posted a image of the Slave One, which is a good-looking image. In a subsequent tweet, Austin wrote, "When applying for personalized plates for my car, the DMV would not allow Slave One. Okay, I understand. Had to try, but I get it. This Disney idiocy, however, not buying, not conforming to the mouse. No, siree, not gonna happen," he continued. He concluded, "When I was growing up, I loved Disney. No more." Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I can sympathize. I used to like them too. Like, they made lots of movies I loved watching growing up, but now, fuck them. They're assholes. They are puritanical assholes who placate a mob, who get offended by the littlest fucking thing. It's just pathetic. They have no spine. They have no balls. He would then proceed to mock the apparent logic behind changing the name. He wrote, "Death Star. Sound a bit harsh, doesn't it? Maybe tone it down a bit, eh? Six Star? Potentially dangerous star? Is that coming next?" In a subsequent tweet, he added, "Stormtroopers sound a bit violent, doesn't it? From now on, Storm will be reduced to slight rainfall trooper. Like, he's tearing into these guys. I like it. Austin also tweeted, Dear Disney, in regards to Star Wars franchise, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Simple. In regards to the Star Wars, yeah. Unfortunately, Lucas was kind of... Well, I still blame the old fans for him selling, but yeah, I still say Disney never should have bought it, because this was made by a man and a bunch of other people who worked with him and did fantastic work because they had some creativity freedom. Disney has no such allowance towards their employees. Everything has to be sanitized and family friendly. I mean, Star Wars was not afraid to kind of push things a little and talk about subjects that were dark. Like, I remember that was something I would hear about the Clone Commando books, which I'm still trying to read. And the funny thing is, the reason why it's called the Slave One is because of the control system Boba and Jango used for it. They could remotely control it, so it had a master-slave control system. So it's not... And what are we going to change it to? The Anakin one? I remember that was something Buddy Manchar was always joking about. But yeah, I would rather call it that then, because... Well, one, it's a middle finger, and plus it's still a reference, but yeah. While the Slave One name is no longer being used for LEGO and seemingly other Star Wars product featuring the ship, based on Fredrickson's explanation, the ship's name is still featured prominently on Star Wars official websites. One has to wonder if this change is part of Chapek's commitment to Disney values. If you recall back during Disney's 2021 annual meeting of shareholders, Chapek was asked about the firing of Gina Carano. In his response, he declared, I don't really see Disney as characterized itself as a left-leaning or right-leaning, yet instead of standing for values that are universal, values to respect, values of decency, values of integrity, and values of inclusion. Yeah, this guy just sounds like he was virtue signaling. Fuck Chapek. He just turned out to be as dumb and kind of infuriating as Bob Iger was. But at least Bob Iger, like, he was kind of an honest douchebag. Kind of. He was still a virtue signaler, but I prefer him to this guy now. Congratulations, Disney. You found someone that I hate more than Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy. Or you found someone just as insufferable. Congratis. Gratis, I suppose. He added, and we seek to have not only how we operate, but the content that we make reflective of the rich diversity of the world we live, and I think that's a world we all should live in harmony and peace. They clearly aren't respecting the lore and the story of Star Wars if they are changing the name Slave One. And then it shows an image of Slave One from an old Star Wars comic. Oh, this is actually from a comic I have. Death, Lies, and Treachery. Good comic from what I remember. And that's the end of the article. And yeah, like Bob Chapek, he sounds like an idiot. I mean, business-wise, he's maybe a smart man, but yeah, these businessmen should have been allowed nowhere near Star Wars. And this is just a further proof that Star Wars is going to suffer creative degradation down the line. Like, The Mandalorian had me hoping that maybe we could get a return to some good Star Wars content. But now I'm not thinking so much. And, yeah, fuck. Fuck. But yeah, I like the Austin tweets. He really tore into them, and he made some good points on this. It feels like, yeah, he kind of is acting how I would expect Boba to act in real life. Like, Boba was the kind of guy who would have no problem talking back to Vader. He was like one of the people who wasn't scared of him. Or at least had enough of a spine to where he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to call you out on something, or I'm going to voice my displeasure. That's how this guy's coming off right now. He is Boba in life, expressing his displeasure with something, and I love it. Don't know how long it'll last, but you never know. He might stay the course. As far as I know, I don't think this guy does any acting anymore, or if he ever did any at all besides the Boba Fett thing. But that's the article for the most part. Yeah, I thought that those were some good points. I agree with most of them. Well, actually, I agreed with all of them. And yeah, this is just the latest trend of Disney not knowing when to leave something alone. And about the diversity thing, Star Wars has always been diverse. It's always had black characters, white characters. I mean, I don't remember seeing any Hispanic characters, but maybe they hadn't gotten around to that yet because by then Lucas had sold it and they weren't really obsessed with the race at the time like we are now. But yeah, it was always diverse. You had diversity of species, for God's sakes, and values and viewpoints. I mean, you could probably debate me on some of that, but I always thought it was. I always kind of see it as diverse. Like before Disney bought it, it was. It's just now they take the diversity to asinine levels of retardation, and it's just like, what the fuck? But anyway, that's just the article I wanted to read and respond to. It kind of just breaks my heart to know that they'll probably fuck with the Fetts and the Slave One because, again, those are my favorite characters, and that is my favorite freaking ship. Like, I love that ship. Like, I say the Millennium Falcon is overrated. The Slave One is where it's at with me. But, yeah, other than that, that's all I wanted to say. If you found this informative, or at the very least it gave you something to listen to, if you were bored out of your mind, I'm glad. If not, oh well, let me know how it disappointed you in the comments, how it didn't disappoint you in the comments, or if you just have something you feel like saying, say it in the comments. I really don't care. Just say whatever you feel like. I promise I'll try not to delete comments, if that's even physically possible. But yeah, have a nice day, and remember the game was rigged from the start. And if it wasn't rigged, people sure are making it unfun these days. You'd think they work for Naughty Dog.